city of Tharbad lies ahead as the group has just now heard of Piper's strange dream, which apparently was the 6th one she's had. What do you do?
I believe I know that every so often I'm looking over at her. Is she still in the cart, or has she tried to get on her pony at this point?
I'm probably still in the cart.
Okay. So I think every now and then I'm looking over at her and just giving her a smile, you know, just trying to be reassuring. But I think that there's a line of worry across my brow as well, along with the smile, because, you know, what do you say to someone like that? And just every so often it's like, "Are you all right, Piper? You still doing okay?"
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm good.
Mm-hmm. Okay, need anything to eat? Or?
No, I'm okay. I'm looking around to see what Tharbad looks like. If we're
We haven't entered the city yet. I was leaving this up to you as to how to proceed. I assume you're heading
We are
directly
heading
to Tharbad.
in the... Yeah,
I think it's important to know, do we know how soon we'll get there? Like when we're likely to...
Yeah,
oh,
it's like
wow.
right there. Yeah.
Okay.
And no one's hanging.
Yeah, can we...
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What time of day is it right now then? Just weather in general.
Roll me a d24.
Right. 10.
10 in the morning.
Okay, so it's not even midday yet. And I guess the only other thing I'd be wondering is if it's an overcast sort of day, you know, little... Just where the weather's like,
It's nice out. It's actually very pleasant. There's a slight breeze. The sun is overhead. It is, it's hot, but there's a pleasant breeze.
Okay, so I think because of that, as rough as this is, definitely we can see it's been on Piper, and I'm sure we're all in our own hat spaces. I think that the weather affects hobbits the way it would anyway, so I think there's maybe us, you know, trying to pass a little joke in between us every now and then, or making comments about that one day when, you know, my dad made sandwiches, but made mine bigger than everyone else's, and I don't know if he's doing that on purpose or if he was just trying to...
Of course he's doing it on purpose.
I don't think...
Because he loves you the most. Yeah.
No, I mean,
Yes.
you wouldn't know which one we chose. I mean, they were all together.
Of course you're going to choose the bigger one.
Well, I mean, obviously, I was the one that's holding them, but that doesn't mean that that was his choice. Probably. It might have been his choice.
it was definitely his choice.
Well, it was really good. I should have shared a little, but you had your own, and you're fine. You're fine. So yeah, I think I'm definitely trying to keep the mood up a little bit, and just hoping that the sun's backing me up a little. So, what do you think we're expecting when we get there? Is anyone noticing anything with the city?
We should be around the causeway soon, but without doing a scan, I wouldn't be able to tell you if there are any carts or such on the road.
You can do a scan roll if you'd like.
I am performing a scan roll now to see if there are any carts on the road. Great success.
Great success. You can go ahead and decide how you'd like to spend that extra success.
Gain insight.
Okay. There are other carts on the road. You can see that there are actually 2 carts ahead of you. Maybe 100 to 200 feet ahead of you. that are making their way onto the causeway. They look like they came down the greenway, from what you can tell.
I see.
It looks like
Where-
they actually are. They look like they are provisions of some kind, from what you can tell.
It looks like trade with Tharbad seems to be going better than usual.
Oh, really? You can see that from here.
You can make out the silhouette of the cart. The back portion has you see those straps?
Yeah.
Huh?
Well, obviously they're keeping something inside.
Well. Oh, well, yeah, I suppose. I mean,
I guess that's fair.
yeah, no, that's fair. I don't know what I would have thought that would have been, but no, that makes sense then. Hopefully that's a good sign, eh, Piper?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I guess we'll see.
Was there much trade in Tharbad when we left before?
Well, I was trading. Well, sort of. The market was going. But, Loremaster, what do I recall of trade in Tharbad before we set off?
I mean, things were looking bleak. There wasn't really very
Hey.
much food or anything coming in. So seeing carts with provisions on them is probably a very positive sight, I think.
Under new management, perhaps.
Maybe. Or it might be a once in a long time sort of convoy we've been attached to the back of.
Loremaster. Is what he's describing, has any of this happened in any of the versions of the 6 visions that I had?
No.
Okay.
Do speak up when something you see is familiar, young Miss Hobbit.
I will.
I know we had
Well-
some concern about our own stuff, though, right? Our own provisions that we're bringing.
Aye.
The carts
Moment
up
of
ahead
truth approaches.
appear to be slowing down and stopping. You can see that there are some guards that appear to be interacting with the carts up ahead. I assume you slow Rusty down.
I slow down and I want to pay attention to what happens to see if if I am able to see if the driver has changed or if they're turned around, because I don't want to be played about again.
Mm-hmm. As you slow
I
the cart,
am quite curious how the guards react to the other cart in front of us.
Oh,
Sure.
exactly.
you see some guards questioning the cart drivers, and Piper, go ahead and make me an awareness roll.
Okay. Failure.
Okay. You can make a scan roll. I think I would say Uriol's and Anduin.
Okay. One
Oh.
success from me.
Okay. One scan coming right up. A great success.
Okay.
For some additional insight.
Okay. So from what you can gather, it seems like you're hearing some similar questions about the rules set by Captain Gurnow at the first cart. And you can just make out some of the conversation from this distance. You can hear things like the rules sort of being recited as if they are part of the daily chores of these guards. And when you also hear something about Deputy Captain Tharnow. And looking around, Anduin, you don't see any signs of any siege or any sort of buildings that have been set aflame, any smoke or anything along those lines.
So, not resembling the description from Piper's dream.
That is correct.
No 10,000 orcs outside. Double
At least
checking.
not yet.
Okay. I heard mention of Thurnau, but I don't know if that means he has replaced his father.
Well, he was dead, right? And the most recent one, Piper.
How much of Piper's dream do we know of? The most recent one that we were aware of, how much do we know?
That's a very good point.
That.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that Garnau was tied up. That Tharnow was in power. That
Ooh, actually,
the orcs attacked. Yeah, go ahead.
do we know the reaction that they had to our prisoners? Did you tell us that?
Yes, I believe I did.
Would you have told us about Garrick, one of the brothers who is on the opposition?
I think I said something along the lines of he has a brother that tried to kill the family or something, but it was very vague and it didn't have a lot of detail, and I didn't give a name.
Okay.
It was a bit like telling someone your dream as you're half forgetting it, so
I
there were some
understand.
details.
I cannot tell you any dreams I've ever had ever, so there's no judgment here, Piper.
Loremaster, I did have one other question before we continued. Did in any of my recollection of the dreams or the visions or whatever they were, was there a point at the beginning of each one where I came out of it and told them the thing I just saw? Or is this new?
So I'm going to leave that up to you.
Okay. Okay.
The way that things kind of happened a bit, if you did tell them, I imagine that it was not as urgent, I guess, or
right.
You
Okay.
didn't put as much weight on those dreams or visions or whatever they were.
Okay. Okay.
Actually, to go along with that, I wonder how much stronger those dreams became as you had them.
The last one was significantly more intense.
Okay.
Much more visceral, much more real.
Much more real. Okay.
Did we notice Piper's change in disposition? Because I recall that we went through a lot, but only she retained the fatigue and such, and the shadow, aye?
Say again?
We went through a lot during the flashbacks and her dreams, and she retained the loss of, the shadow points and everything else, the loss of endurance.
That's right. But we didn't. We reset everything. Yep.
No. So is that deficit? Maybe perhaps my eyes are on the road, but maybe, Toddles or Launton, have they noticed
notice
anything? Aye.
I think the both of you can make a check for that. It's probably an insight check. And I'll say you have a bonus of 1 die.
Okay.
Well, actually, if you have Piper as your, what did they call it in this game? Your focus?
Mm-hmm.
I do.
Yeah, I think then you'll have 2 bonus die for the roll.
All right. You want to go first, Lund?
Yeah, I'll go first. I imagine this is going up against how much she's trying to be stoic against it. Oh, extraordinary success.
Well, fantastic. Let's hope I do as well.
Well, if you don't...
Yeah, but can I roll to be stoic?
Oh,
Yes.
great
So,
success.
That's what I was going to say, Piper. There's usually not like contested rolls or anything in this. There's just
Right.
targets. But I think I'd like to do that in this case. Are you trying to hide it? And,
Yes.
Okay. So I guess this would be a stealth check.
A stealth check.
Yeah, right? Or
Okay. Yeah.
what are our
I mean,
other
that sounds good
options
to me.
here?
Or like, I guess you could do persuade.
Yeah, it could be persuade or stealth, I think. Probably in
Will
this.
she need 3 great successes or a Gandalfini to neutralize it or what?
Gandalfini.
Let me roll stealth and see what we get, because otherwise there may be no a failure. So we're good. We don't even need to figure it out.
So, you describe this to Launton and Toddles, to what they see when they look at you.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking. I have like bags under my eyes, and I don't think they'd ever really had seen that before. I love sleeping. I sleep in. I sleep well. So I'm looking a little bit ragged in that way. And I think it's pretty obvious, even though I'm doing my best to not reveal it, but I think it's pretty obvious that I'm a little bit distracted, a little bit despondent. I'm kind of having a hard time keeping up with everything that's happening, and when people are asking me questions and things like that. So yeah, I'm looking a little bit rough.
So I imagine with what we roll, we can also see that she is actively trying not to show it. Is that
Yeah.
right? Okay. So I would not bring anything up. I think that I would definitely keep giving an eye over to Tottles. Just a very knowing look and a head movement at Piper whenever she's not paying attention.
Yeah. And I'll acknowledge it, but also like kind of sort of shrug, like I never dealt with this before. I don't know what to do, but I don't like it.
Yeah, and I think I'm also afraid to go over and talk to the Toddles about it. Like I don't want Piper to feel like we're talking behind her back, even though we very much need to talk behind her back.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I appreciate that.
So, you see the first cart go through. The second cart gets the same sort of speeches and rules and such. And then you make your way forward, next in line. Guards stop you.
Oh, there. Oh, Rusty. I look at the guard. Do they recognize me? Do I recognize them?
Ah. Dwarf.
Aye.
They look at Anduin. And they say, "Ah, you lot again."
Us lot again. Aye.
Why have you returned
Did
to
he say
Tharbad?
Haslot?
I heard that too.
That's what I thought I heard.
I know.
Why have we returned to Tharbad? We, and Darwin?
We have returned to Tharbad for more than one reason. We have people with us, farmers, villagers who were displaced from their farms when they were raided by bandits. They've come seeking shelter. We also have wares to sell in the wagon. And we have 2 men who must stand trial for their crimes and face the justice of your Lord of Tharbad. These 2 members of the Dunland Raiders who have been burning down the local farms. If you find that Tharbad does not have enough food, there is a big part of the reason.
They sort of,
what he said.
they try to like get a look into the cart and see these people. And then
I make a point of moving out of the way so
Yeah.
they can take a good look at the people behind me.
And then you hear the one that you're speaking to sort of yell, Garrick! Garrick! And then
Gary.
walking over to the cart, you see a familiar face. Piper. You see this relative, plain in their face, related to the brothers that you have met so far, Tharnau and Aldrich. And you've seen Eadward, but you've yet to meet Garrick. You recognize the name, though. This is the person who you heard from Tharnau had taken control of the South Bank. This is the person that was seeking vengeance against Tharnau, wanted control of the city for himself.
And who didn't work with Amelia Kern.
No.
It's not this one, but he is the one responsible supposedly for killing his own brother who was helping
Yes.
Amelia.
Really?
Yeah. Okay.
one that was
but
responsible
we
for
don't know that,
killing
but she does. Yeah.
Now,
Branor.
would
Yes.
Piper have explained any of this to us?
I don't think
Probably.
we know it. No.
She didn't give us the
Probably
name
not.
Garrick.
But I was just
No.
refreshing her and the audience.
So we have so we have no reaction to this, just to be clear. It's good- So
Yep.
we wouldn't have got
None.
Yeah. Okay.
So, this person walks over and all of the people that you've met, all of the sons of Gurnau, they have similar facial features. It's easy to recognize them as siblings. Garrick is probably a little bit younger than Tharnau. Walks over, has swept back hair, a bit more in control of the mane than Tharnau. It's sort of like greasily swept back across his head. He's clean shaven.
So, he's got the Legolas look going, is what I'm hearing.
A little bit, not nearly as clean, but definitely sort of cleaner than like Tharnau. Meticulous looking appearance compared to the other sons of Gurnau that you've met. Much cleaner overall. Walks over and he says, why have you called me? Sir, these people are claiming that they have Dunelending captives. Oh, Dunelending captives. It's good to hear. So, let's have you make your way into town then. You can make your way to the Red Palace. We'll take care of them from there. Thank you for bringing these Dunelendings in.
As you please. Happy to help. It's been a few weeks since we visited Tharbad. Has anything changed? Or is it still business as usual?
Well, we've had a bit of luck here in recent days. We've gotten a few deliveries that have made their way through. Father has done quite well. He's brokered a deal with some of the traders in Bree, convinced them to, well, make caravans back to Tharbad again.
That does sound like big news. Last time I was here, there was not a whole lot for sale. It would be good to have more people coming to the city again.
Yes, it was direly needed. Is there anything else you need to tell me?
Not that I can think of. Rioth, have I forgotten anything?
I do not believe so, other than... Now, have any of your scouts, not that this is information you might want to tell us, but have they heard anything about orcs or goblins in the region?
No more than we would hear on any other day. Why?
Very well. Oh, it's just a feeling.
Wait. As in, you do hear that every so often, or you never hear that, so there wouldn't be a change you expect?
Every so often.
Okay. All right. Yeah. All right.
Have you, on the same topic, have you had any scouts out by, what was the name of the place again?
Londare.
Londare. The Dunlendings said that they had, taken Londare.
Who said this?
We kind of
The Dunlendings.
Yeah,
turned to the
They said
prisoners.
that the prisoners, they said that they had another group take Londare.
Yeah, and one of them or two of them are like leaders of sorts.
Yeah.
These
right,
two that
so-
you have in your cart.
Right?
Yeah, that's
Yes.
why we brought them to
Yeah,
you.
it's Timber, and that's Broga right there.
To await your justice and questioning.
Right, because they had mentioned Londare.
Aye. What's this talk of Londare?
Yeah, it's just concerning, because if it is taken, then there could be concern about them
He's
coming up the river.
Stopped listening to you, and he's gone over towards the Dune Lendings. And he says, he kicks the cart. And he says, "Hey! Oi! You! What's this news of Londare?" "It is as they say." "Speak plainly." "The city is fallen." You see Garrick's eyes go wide. "Fallen? It's been sacked." "Aye, it has been sacked. And soon your city will as well." "Bring them inside. To the Red Palace immediately."
Oh, okay. Rusty.
You, mind the gate. Bring anyone in. Ignore the normal rules for now. Anyone? What of your father? Let me worry about my father. And you can see that Garrick is beginning to follow the cart and making way along with you. And he begins to sort of shoo anybody that comes near the cart. Out of the way! Out of the way! Making your way through the city of Tharbad, you see very familiar sights. You see a lot of people near the marketplace. You see still the signs of depression and things amongst the populace. People that look very ragged and weary, and the city doesn't appear as if it has gone through some sort of revolution, as you might expect here.
I think that at this point, after seeing the city, and even though that this is definitely a tense situation, I think that my concern for Piper is probably higher now. Not the fact that she was wrong. It's not like it wasn't necessarily
It's
expected.
almost worse. Yeah.
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 Yeah. Because, you know, if it had been some sort of, you know, sage vision of the future where she got bits and pieces, you know, it would have been like, well, it's a curse and we don't know what's going on. But now that this is happening, I think that personally, and I imagine same for Tottles, not to speak for you, but I think there's a heightened level of, oh, what is going on with her?
Yeah, most definitely.
Not even an irrational explanation for it.
Well, I mean, she's cursed, but like,
Yeah. But
yeah,
how?
yeah,
Yeah.
how much of it is the curse, and how much of it is, you know, fear or
Yeah.
anything else? So yeah, it's a lot.
She's tired. Has she just not been sleeping and now she's just
Yeah.
worked herself up? And there's so much.
It's quite strange that I don't have visions like this.
That's my main
That.
concern as well. Like, yeah, I feel like I'm looking to you to see what is abnormal, and the fact that you were like, it's not uncommon to get visions, but also you kind of didn't really go, it's okay. So I know something's wrong. I just don't know what.
Yeah.
But my plan is hopefully to talk to the librarian.
Yeah. Well, my plan is to talk to Anduin eventually because I'm very concerned.
Yeah, yeah.
As the cart makes its way through Tharbad, you approach the Red Palace, being directed by Garrick, son of Gurnau. Waiting outside, you can see Gurnau's guard. Amongst them, you recognize another person. This is Aldrich that you see outside. Piper.
I recognize him, yeah?
Oh yeah,
It's the same.
he looks
Now,
very
did I see
similar,
him-
yes.
Did I see him before in Tharbad?
Not that you can
Or
remember.
just in the vision? Just in the dreams? Okay. Okay.
In all of Piper's visions, and she's had 6 of them, you said that they all end in the fall of Tharbad in one way or another, yes?
That's correct. You see Aldrich standing there, son of Gurnau. Whoa, whoa. What goes on, Garrick? I have urgent news for father. And who's this lot then? They have Dunlending captives. Dunlending leaders. You come to curry favor with father then?
No. No. We didn't know what to do with them.
I think he's talking to his brother.
Oh.
They came to the gate. They announced their arrival. They announced their prisoners. They brought prisoners. Dunlendings. What would you have me do? Send them away? Fair enough, brother. Fair enough. So, what will you have us do with them? Londair has been sacked. What? Have you gone deaf? I said Londair has been sacked, you idiot. I heard what you said. And who did the sacking then? Dunlendings claim they did it. Aldrich walks over and he says, "Is that true? Are you a liar?" "Perhaps I am a liar. Or perhaps I am telling the truth. You'll have to find out yourself." Oh, we'll find out.
Yorska?
You can be sure of that.
Have you heard from your scouts?
There's a look between the two brothers.
Hyper, what are you doing?
Our scouts are none of your concern.
I'm just saying, if you haven't heard from them, or what's going on with them, Tharbad could be run over. They could come in from the river.
From the river?
The Dunlendings speak of a war party transported by ships to the west. Should they decide to follow the Grey Flood, it would lead them here by sea.
As I said, Aldrich, we need to speak with Father. Mind the prisoners. We'll have them meet with Captain Gurnow. The other guards tend to Rusty and the cart and begin to take the prisoners, Timber and Broga. Do you get out of the cart as they are tending to it? You follow them.
I think that I look over at Anduin and Rioth and ask if, like, are we going in? Do we stay?
What do you want to do?
Yeah, what do we do?
I think, at the very least, we should stay here for this conversation with Captain Gurnow. We've traveled far and seen much. Our own witness could be very important to the fate of this city.
And there's no, this isn't an immediate priority, but I believe I have an overdue book at the library. I'd like to return. If
Right.
at all possible.
We will bring the books back.
Yeah.
And also we need to find shelter for all the people we've rescued as well.
Okay,
I just think that...
Could you take care of our ponies, too?
We'll see to your horses and your ponies.
Much obliged.
Yes, thank you.
As I've just told my compatriot, if you will have us, I believe Gurnow should hear us out, as well as the prisoners, and whatever else he wants to ask. I have spent the better part of the last almost a month and a half traveling the countryside north and west, and I've seen much. If you have not heard back from your scouts, perhaps you would do well to listen to my advice instead.
So, I'll take a persuade here, for anybody that wants to make the roll. Feel like Piper or Lawton or Anduin taking the lead.
Yeah.
Who has the biggest,
I have
who has the biggest persuasion?
Yeah, I have 3 pips, but it's not favored.
That's
I
the
have
same as
2
me,
and
so
it's
go
not
for it.
favored. Yeah.
Well, I can
Anduin?
confidently say that it should not be me.
Lantern it is.
Oh
Unless-
no!
Unless
You can do
I
it.
can awe them into letting me in. Don't think it's going to work.
I will give you hope, and so you get 2.
Okay, so just to explain that one away, I think I'm off my pony. I'm standing next to Tottles, and I'm sort of like looking over at her, nodding as I'm saying, it's like, yes, if we could, we have seen a lot, right? We've seen a lot. I mean, there's
These
we
three
were-
small ones were held captive by the
Yeah,
dawn
weak.
endings, were you
Yeah.
not?
Yeah,
yeah.
you
they were
never know what
forthcoming.
kind of information just might come to us, or if we catch him in a lie.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we would.
Mm-hmm.
What's the opposite of a character witness?
Very well. Come.
Well, I mean, I guess it's technically still a character witness. We're just
We'll speak with Father.
yeah.
I'm not going to let you just take all the glory for yourself, brother.
What do you
Okay,
mean?
well, you didn't do nothing. We did. So you can take us with you.
What's glory if there's no city left?
We'll all go together.
You're right.
Very well. It doesn't matter. Come.
Lead the way.
All this worry about glory when the city could be sacked at any second. I don't get it.
Vicar and children, aren't they?
Madness.
I don't think they are convinced yet that the city may be sacked.
I mean, that's fair.
Well, it's not like they would lie about that in private conversation with each other for us to overhear for our benefit.
When they didn't
Right.
even know they'd
The
be
scouts
coming
aren't
here.
coming back. The scouts aren't
And
coming
that
back.
is
That's
precisely why the three of you are coming in here to relay what you've overheard at that camp.
Right. But
Right.
where did the scouts thing come? That was kind of a little. I mean,
Piper. You've never been inside the Red Palace before, I think. I think
Mm-mm.
I think Rioth and Anduin have been here, but the rest of you haven't. You recognize the rooms as you begin to walk past Piper, and as you do, almost like overlaid over the top of this pretty lavish place, especially considering the rest of Tharbad. It is still decrepit, but it's lavish. And you can see the place almost like in faded memory. Bits crashing down where the siege happened. Around you, walls crumbling. You running for your life with your friends. Seeing boulders smashed through the wall. As everyone's walking and talking, making their way through the corridor, following Garrick and Aldrich. With prisoners in tow. It's hard to concentrate on the conversations when you can see this sort of destruction layered about you. And you find yourself in Captain Gurnow's, essentially his office. You lost track of the conversation. You find yourself there. Maybe Toddles or Lawton is looking at you. Maybe a little worried.
Hey, Piper?
Hey,
What is it?
you're just taking this place in. You're looking everywhere.
Oh. It's just like it was.
When?
What do you mean? In the dream.
No.
Father, I have urgent news.
How's that possible?
I know.
Are you sure your mind's just not filling it in now
These people
that
have
you've seen
brought
it?
prisoners. Aye, Father.
Behold,
Gareth kept
baby.
a watchful
I know
eye
him.
on the causeway.
She says it's exactly the same as in the dream. How's that?
Come now, if that's the case. Tell me something about this place that I don't know about.
There are many paintings of Gurnell on the walls.
You can see a few of them around.
Oh, well, I mean, they were around to begin with, no?
I mean, also that, you know, your brain could just assume that that's,
Yeah, is there
you know, it would make sense that there would be.
any
Piper
detail
has
of-
never been in this building before.
I know, but I'm
She
just saying, like,
If she recognizes the place at all, then it means her dreams must have some truth to
Obviously,
them.
it's not the same. Yeah, it's obviously not the same. The building in the dreams were it was you know, broken down, and there was a siege, so all the things were broken and all the paintings were cut out.
Right. In an ordinary dream,
See the
You'll not
rocks
be able-
falling from the ceiling all around Piper.
What?
I put a hand
I
on
grab
Piper's
onto
shoulder.
Anduin. Yeah, I grab him.
And whatever you saw, it shall remain in a dream for now. Stay close to me.
Okay.
We will do our best to make sure this place does not end up how you saw it.
Okay.
Captain Gurnow, staring at your group, says,
So, the dwarf and the wolfman again.
Barman.
Indeed, Captain Gurnow. We have returned.
And you've come with 2 Dunlandings.
That we do.
What is this talk, then, of Londair being sacked?
These 2 Dunlandings were the leaders of a war party that were raiding farms around here. In the process of their rampage, we ended up crossing swords. And they took my 3 little friends captive.
we're not little, we're like average size.
Yeah, we're pretty average. Like,
And during the week that they were held captive, they were able to overhear much. Go on, Lawton. Tell them what you heard.
right. So, essentially, the city to the south along the Grey Flood was sacked.
I just put a hand on Launton's shoulder because I know this is not a comfortable thing to think about.
No. As for the way that Timber, that one talks about it, they had there was a lot of them, a lot. I mean, enough to take the city itself. And there was and I look over at Anduin. There were ships to the west that were coming, and even from Timber's mouth recently, with plans to come this way to this city, with the same goals in mind.
The Dunlandings are moving in force. And they say they have a big ship full with more of them. And it is very likely they will come this way, since Tharbad is the next big city after Londair.
Father, the scouts have not returned. I am well aware of the fact that the scouts haven't returned. Do you think me a fool, boy?
I did not say that, Father. You are a wise and just man. Without your help, we would not have received food in time. Aldrich has a smile on his face and he says,
You would always kiss Father's boot, whenever you could. Quiet, both of you. Won't have you arguing in front of our captives or our guests. Now, the scouts have not returned for a week now. But it doesn't mean that Londare is sacked. They could have run into other troubles, or it could be delayed.
It is true. Just because your scouts have not come back, it is not a guarantee of what we have said. But in the time, both the time that the hobbits were held captive by Timber, and in the time that Timber has been held captive by us, he has been forthcoming. I do not think him a liar.
Well, and we overheard it. It's not like they were saying it for our benefit.
Yeah, there were other.
You know, they were talking to each other, and
bandits.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Making plans and the like. Okay.
It doesn't matter what you are able to do here in this place. You do not know what comes for you. And what comes for me? Dune lending. I've heard tales of Captain Gurnau. You were a bandit, weren't you?
Hmm?
In my younger days, perhaps. Not that long ago, I think. But you were very successful, weren't you? You took this city by force. And now you hold it. Well, do you think no one else could do this thing? You will tell me what you know. You will tell me what you have done at Londare. And I will judge if you are telling the truth or not. I don't think that I will. My sons can be rather forceful. I have no doubt that they can be. Take them away. Bring them to the dungeon. The dungeon? Yes. I think maybe I have a few ideas.
Aldrich smiles, begins to walk them off. You see Timber, as he leaves the room, smile, and he looks over towards Trying to think who had the biggest impression on him. It's probably Toddles, I think. He probably looks at you as he walks off, Toddles, and he smiles. And he says,
I'm sure I'll see you soon.
I didn't like the way he said that.
So, the moment that the moment that Captain Garnow said anything about or the conversation with Timber saying him being a bandit, were the doors open the whole time in his office sort of area? Were they closed?
I imagine they were closed.
Ooh. I would have backed up towards the door. I think I would have considered opening it. And the first thing I'm kicking myself is not thinking about how to get out of here. I didn't think to look for a way out at all on the way in. And after hearing that, I am actively trying to remember if I saw anything, even though I was way more like focused on Piper and how she was reacting as we were walking down the hallway. But I am trying to remember if I saw a way out at all. An escape route, anything, because I am very afraid for my friends and myself.
I'll tell you what, make an awareness roll.
Okay.
You can have hope from me.
I appreciate that. I was going to ask though, just straight penalties, anything like that, or just
For
right
me,
out,
just flat, just normal.
Okay. Oh, great success then.
Okay. You have one extra success. This is your awareness as you were walking through the Red Palace. You can spend your extra success how you'd like.
Considering that I'm trying to think at this point, this is going to be probably widen influence. As I'm racking my brain, I think that I'm probably showing some fear in my face, and I'm looking over at Tottles and Piper, and then looking at Anduin and Ryuth, and if anyone's looking at me, my eyes are darting towards the door, like just that straight fear. But yeah, if there's anything that I saw of a way to run and get out an open door, window, any way, that's what I'm trying to think about. Similar to the dream, but nowhere near the same.
Okay.
Not that I would know.
Sure. Well, yeah, I mean, you picked up a few ways. This place, different from the dream, is well guarded. There's a lot of, there were a lot of guards that you passed on the way here, and the debris and stuff that you saw, you know, in the dream, the vision, had some broken down walls and stuff, and there were signs of conflict in this place. They're not here at this time. But you see a few ways that you might be able to make a quick exit. It would most likely involve making your way to a different floor, like going up some stairs and maybe trying to find a way that way. I think those are probably the most likely ways for evacuation. Just going the way that you came, probably impossible.
Okay. I think that's probably about as good as I would get anyway. So I'm definitely looking over at Piper and Tottles, and considering the lives that we've led, I am giving you whatever signals that we've had in the past that of let's get out of here. And I think for Anduin and Rioth, I would hope they would know me at this point that there's a wee bit of panic on my face. I don't know.
I probably would pick up on the skittishness of the hobbits, but at the same time, I'm not feeling the same panic. I feel like I just brought these people valuable intel. So, if anything, my worst case scenario is, alright, thanks, now get out of here.
Panic.
Can't see any reason why they would turn on us. It would make no sense.
Why would we need
what
to
if they
panic?
think we're in on it?
I don't know. That's just it.
Anyway, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm with you. I did not like the way he said that. Like,
Yeah.
he's gonna interrogate me.
At any rate, I think we need to go air
that
our
was Timber,
hobbits.
wasn't
and-
it? Just to clarify, I'm so sorry.
Timber
It was
is the one
Timber
that
who
said
said
that. Yes.
Yeah, but that's what
Timber
I'm
said,
saying.
"I'll see you
Timber's
later."
like, I'll see you later. Like he knows he's gonna say something like, oh, the hobbits are in on it, and then we're gonna get taken next. That's what it
Oh.
made it seem like.
I interpreted it very differently.
Oh,
If they're going to publicly behead him, you would see
Oh.
him.
oh, that's.
Oh.
Oh, I don't like that. That's not where my mind went.
Yeah, my mind went to we're going to be locked away.
Yeah.
And that's probably a level of
That's a
PTSD
Hobbit
that
thing.
we
Yeah,
have,
that makes sense, yeah.
Well, yes, it's a Hobbit thing as well, but yeah. I definitely am just an opposite reflection of Anduin and Rioth right now. Very fidgety.
Garrick, keep an eye out on your brother.
Of course, Father.
Make sure we need to keep that man alive. He seems to know much. At least that's the air I get from him.
Have you ever heard of the Eater of Ghosts? I'll kind of, interject myself into their conversation. Have you ever heard of the Eater of Ghosts? He mentioned that title, a person, and the way he said the name, it sounds like he reports to this Ghost Eater. Perhaps that is the true leader of the Dunlandings.
I have never heard of this Eater of Ghosts.
Neither have I.
Well, if you intend to question him, that may be something worth asking.
Fair enough. I would like to thank you for bringing these Dunlandings to me. It's very responsible of you.
What are you gonna do with them? Like, how do your laws work and all that? I see I'm a hobbit from the Shire and we have very different ways of doing things, so...
We will do whatever it takes to find out what is going on. If that means breaking the man, so be it. His crimes are far worse than mere banditry.
Yeah, we are aware
Right.
of that.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is why we decided to bring him here, because we couldn't just.
Gurnell looks at you quizzically and says,
You wish mercy for him?
Well, it's not. No, I don't want to use the word mercy, and this is. We've gone round and round with this one. We don't
We
know the law.
ultimately,
Oh, yes, please go ahead.
we ultimately decided not to kill him because we did not know the laws of your land or your customs. We brought him here to face justice. And that is that.
Well, that's very respectful. You've earned some boon, I think.
I don't. Wait, this wasn't done for a boon. We just didn't know it was best to do. So I mean, I won't talk for everyone, but I can't.
Can I use the boon?
Piper?
Use the boon.
What?
I did not come
You
here
take
seeking
us seriously.
reward. You can have it.
No, take us seriously about Londair. Look into it. But, like, really look into it. Prepare. Just in case. Keep an eye on the river. That's what I would ask.
I would
Loremaster.
ask for free passage.
Oh, yeah.
I mean that.
Free passage?
Aye.
To where?
We, within your realm, within these walls, within Tharbad. I don't mean into the Red Keep. It is just that as long as we are doing our work here, it would be best if we are not turned around at the gates every so often, and if we're allowed to do what we need to do without being hindered.
That is easy enough. And rest assured, little one, that I will take the news breached of Londair quite seriously.
Thank
He looks down for a moment. Make an insight check for me, please, Piper.
Oh, ho, ho. I am going to use a hope for this one.
Yeah. I'll give you hope for this one.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
So one or the other. Just decide.
So I got 2.
No,
I'm
no.
gonna go with
one
that
or the
one.
other.
Right. Oh. Oh.
Lawton, is Piper your focus?
No, I've got totals for that one.
Oh, right.
I
we-
can
okay,
give
all good.
I can give it to her because she is my focus, so she
you
would
have
get
to.
2.
That's right.
Yeah,
you can
that's
do
right.
that.
I have 2.
So if you wish to do that, that's fine.
Would
Yeah,
you mind?
yeah. No, I don't mind at all.
All right.
Okay. Success.
Okay.
I needed
Um,
that.
Yeah, so Piper, he's definitely worried about that.
Okay.
For sure. He sort of like looks down for a second, like he's thinking about Londair for a second, what that would mean if it is sacked. And you're kind of replaying what you saw in your head, and Captain Tharnow, his son's panic,
Right. Yeah.
and what that would mean, and basically leaving Tharbad's ram, making it even less useful, and the fact that the city would be almost wide open for attack if they could come by the river.
Yeah. So I'm getting the sense that he is concerned. He's just more in control and measured of his responses and his emotions than his children.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
And
Well, that's good to
he's
have in a
also more
leader.
experienced, you know?
Right.
So
Yeah.
he's got to understand that it might be true, it might not. He's got to investigate, though. You're definitely correct. And he recognized that.
Good. How long has it been that we've been in here now? And is it getting near to the point at which in the dream someone comes running in?
About that time, yeah.
Oh Lord.
I'm very anxious and I'm looking to the doors.
You
Suddenly,
seem troubled.
10,000 orcs.
Troubled?
That's right, you made a boon. You said you wanted me to consider things about Londair. Are you sure that's what you want?
That's all I want. Yes, thank you. For taking it seriously.
What of the rest of you?
I know it's
Well, we have that book we need to return, and I don't know if there's
Book?
fees assigned. Well, yeah, there's the library across the water, and my friend Tottle's here. I'd gotten a book, and I don't know if there's like a.
I don't think there's a fee or.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
That's fine.
I'm
I
good.
just want to return.
Yeah.
Well, if that's all, then the free passage is easy enough, and I wish you on your way.
One other note.
Thank you.
One other thing that we come across in our travels. Londair is the biggest concern. If you are attacked, it would probably be by Dunlendings from the west by way of the water. But we did find this strange thing, and I will hold up the I believe it was a wristband or
The
something like
bracelet,
that.
aye.
Yeah, it's a bracelet.
Yes, with the sigil of Angmar on it. We found this on a orcish war party or scouting party to the north. This is the sigil of Angmar. Been a long time since I have seen them moving around. I would be cautious of any of your people that are north for any reason. And while scouting Londair is important, you may still want to post some people to watch the north, in case the shadows of Angmar are moving again.
You said you found this on an orcish scouting party?
I figure it must have been scouts. There were not that many of them. Couldn't be a war party. And they were
6.
riding wargs.
7?
Yeah, 6 men, mounts. That sounds like scouts to me.
He's looking at it a little too long.
This isn't the first time you have seen this, is it?
Hmm? Oh, I'm sure it's nothing.
Can I gauge his reaction in any particular way, Loremaster?
Make an insight check.
Practically screaming that he is hiding something. That is a Gandalf rune. Great success on the insight.
Okay.
Ooh.
I stare directly into his soul for additional insight.
Okay. I'm trying to think what I can tell you here. That you would glean from this. I think it's quite obvious that he has seen this before. I think he's been rather stoic compared to his children thus far. But this time he reacts pretty openly. There's a look of shock on his face that he tries to conceal. And he's probably sweating a bit. He's scared. For sure.
Right.
And beyond that, I don't think you would know much other than he's definitely seen this before.
Fair enough.
It's nothing. It's no concern. These
Right.
orc search parties, they happen from time to time. It's rare, but it happens. Sometimes goblins, they will make their way down from the mountains, and they will sometimes steal livestock. I've heard of it. It happens in Bree sometimes.
They also sometimes harass people along the Greenway. I ran into some myself.
Have there been any tales of orc war parties in recent times?
War parties? No, of course not. It would be unheard of.
Right. Sorry, as you can imagine, I'm just a wee hobbit, so there's much left of the world for me to see.
Well, that being said, I stand next to the door, I open it up. And then I just freeze. I don't know what to say.
You open up the door, and waiting outside, you see the familiar Deputy Captain Tharnow.
Oh.
About to make his way into the room.
And I leave the door open and back up.
Oh. Apologies, I almost stepped on you.
Oh no, it's my fault entirely. And then I try and blend backwards into. Is this the one that we pantsed? Well, Tottles pantsed all those times back. This is pretty sure it is. So I don't know if he caught wind of that, right? Or
No, I was
actually one of
stealth.
the hobbits that did it.
It was
you were
perfect, yeah.
But I remember, so
I'm not looking. I'm looking down and a little bit forlorn a bit, so I don't really notice him or say hi or acknowledge him or nothing.
Yeah.
Father, what's this about, Oh. You have visitors. That's right, I do. I'll be but a moment.
Arnell sort of looks around and says,
I remember you. Are you the ones that brought in the Doonlet sun? I said, I have visitors. Please, give us a moment.
Well, I believe we have finished discussing everything of importance, so don't let us get in your way. I think it's about it's about time that we head off. I
Gurnow
don't envy you.
Gurnow still has the bracer in his hand, by the way.
Oh, okay. I'll kind of like slowly reach out, not taking it back, but just, holding my hand out, like if you're done with that. But I'm also kind of gauging, like, is he attached to it or what is he doing?
He doesn't seem to notice that he has this bracer for a moment. You reach out to it, and he just, sees in his periphery you're, like, reaching out. He looks down towards you, confused, and, like, looks down at his hand.
Ah, yes.
And he hands you the bracer, looking a little bit longer at it than is normal.
I'll offer it back to him. Did you want this? It has served its purpose to me already.
No. It's unnecessary.
Very well. I do not envy you, Captain Gurnow. You have threats to the west and threats to the north, and everybody looking to you for answers. I hope you can find us.
Father, threats to the west? Just give me a moment, Tharnow. Apologies, my son is brash.
Once upon a time, I was him, the young son interrupting my father's meetings. I understand his enthusiasm and your frustration. In our time here in the city, we have met many of your citizens and made friends too. I'd hate to see anything bad happen to Tharbad, so if we can be of assistance in any way, you let me know. I will be around for the time remaining while we wait for our friend Gandalf the Grey to return.
At the name, both of the family members sort of look towards you as if not just recognition is there, but that the name itself has a power on whoever hears it. And Tharnau looks at Gurnau and says,
Yes, if Gandalf the Grey is returning, I suppose we have nothing to worry about anyway.
I believe when...
If that is all...
That is all.
You may be on your way.
Farewell. Well,
I'm gonna take slightly longer strides as a hobbit could do than normal.
I will follow him out and leave quickly before this gets any more awkward.
mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You begin to head out.
I follow suit.
I also follow.
Walking out of Captain Gurnau's office, you see Deputy Captain Tharnau sort of look at you leaving, and as you begin to leave, Piper, you're walking on eggshells the whole time, waiting for the other shoe to drop, expecting some sort of explosion to happen. But instead, you hear the echo of your footsteps down the corridor leading out of the Red Palace.
I think as we get into the hallway and maybe halfway between where we were and the door out, I would have slowed my pace a little bit. Piper, are you still looking around the way you did before when we came in?
Yeah, but I'm not looking at anything. Maybe I'm not looking wildly at the surroundings, but I'm still kind of looking, but maybe this time it's in reaction to sounds as opposed to sights. So if I hear anything or if there's any sort of banging or doors opening or closing or anything, I'm kind of alert to that.
You hear
Okay.
the door to Gurnau's office close, in the distance as Tharnau makes his way inside.
I kind of, I don't jump, but I kind of start at the sound of the doors closing.
Okay. So I think that since I was probably in front, at least in the beginning, I was keeping an eye backwards, just probably hyper vigilant for whatever reason. Seeing you do that, I slow down and get to you and I rub your back, and I really don't know what to say other than it's okay, it's okay.
I'm sorry.
No, don't be. You're fine. Look, everything's okay. Let's just, I think, you're looking a bit peckish. And then I look over at Tottles to sort of give her a sort of nod and smile. And
I'm not looking at you. I'm looking down.
so I,
okay, you three, what is going on? You've been acting strange since we got here.
he just, he said, the Timber said he was a bandit. But I'm saying this at Anduin, but I'm definitely looking over at Tottles if she's...
No, I don't look at you. I'm
Do you
looking down
respond
at
at
my
all?
feet. No.
It's just like... No, Mum, okay.
You mean
It's like, yeah,
Gurnau?
Yeah.
Right. I am honestly not really surprised. The way that he runs the city. Seems to keep it with an iron grip. He understands strength, but not wisdom. At least not the kind of wisdom that cares about others.
I'm nodding along to what Anduin's saying, but I think my gaze is definitely on Tottles. I move back. Where are you at, Tottles? I don't how
Lagging behind, probably.
all right, so
Somewhere in the... Not too far behind, but...
okay. I think I move back and probably at first loudly go, hey, okay.
I'm crying. I'm looking down.
Getting close and seeing that, I drop my voice. Hey. What's going on?
I feel terrible.
Because
I
of Tender.
saved his life just so I could do awful things to him.
Okay, but you...
I should have let Anduin kill him. I've never felt this way before, but it feels awful. I was just trying to help.
I know.
But in sparing his life, we've learned so much more. Without that, we would not have known about Londair. He is not a good man. And I am sure he has made his peace with whatever is going to happen to him next. That is
But
not on
I
me.
haven't.
Gee.
What does he mean, break him? What does that mean?
Make him speak. Plainly.
But he does that. They're not... I almost start to go into what I think would happen, but this isn't your fault.
Why does it feel like it is?
I don't know. I don't know. I want to tell you, no good deed, right? Goes unpunished, or I don't know. I'll be honest, I don't know what was right to do. In the moment, I don't know if I would have done that either, but regardless, it's not like you knew what was going to happen. Not really. I didn't. It's not... It can't be your fault.
Oh, it is.
It's not. It's not your fault. It can't be your fault. It can't. You made no decisions he made. And we tried to get to him and talk to him. With nary a budge. I mean, I don't know if it was fair to save him. And I know that's hard. But I don't know if it would have been fair to kill him in that moment either. I don't know. I don't know if there's a fair when it comes to people like that.
Your tears for the fate of this murderer and slave driver confuse me, young hobbit.
They confuse me too. I've never felt like this before. But it doesn't feel good. I feel very bad.
You did nothing wrong, Toddles. If anything, you are guilty simply of caring for everybody, including those who do not deserve it.
He's right. What would you have felt if you hadn't helped him, knowing that you could have? Would it have been worse than this?
I don't know.
I doubt it would have been better. I just don't think we have any real control. You can't take responsibility for someone and their actions and the actions of others towards that person. You can only... Right? And I'm looking over to Anduin and Rioth and Piper, right? I mean,
A
at this
man can
point...
be responsible
Yeah.
only for the actions that he himself takes.
Hey,
Well, I saved him.
Yes, you did. Was saving him the wrong thing to do?
I don't know, was it?
You can't
No.
answer that.
No,
not-
you
wasn't.
can't. You can't answer it. It was not a wrong thing to do. You did what you believed was right, and there's nothing wrong with saving him. You could not see where this would go.
You mean
That-
it?
What Anduin said, that's right. You can't know the future. It's that whole, parable thing about you save someone, they go on to do terrible things. You know, you don't save one that could have saved people's lives. You can't know. I agree with Anduin. It wasn't wrong to save him. Maybe it was wrong to turn him in here. Maybe it wasn't. I don't think we can ever... And this isn't for you to stop feeling the way you do. I think... I don't know how you cannot feel that. But I don't think it's on you. I don't think you've made some grave error yourself. I don't think you should question yourself.
Perhaps after all this, now we understand why so many cultures would simply prefer an honorable death in battle. It's quick and simple and avoids all of this.
you see, this is why we have kings. So they burden themselves with all this and we don't have to.
I could use a king right now.
I have never had one. But I suppose having a village elder is mostly the same. Make the hard decisions.
That's right. A village
The way
elder.
you act sometimes I think you might just be one.
Runs in the family.
So I've heard.
I have an overdue library book.
Yeah, we should take care of it, but don't... You shouldn't be
I
pushing
wasn't.
yourself. Oh.
I wasn't exaggerating either when I said I saw a little bit of myself in Tharnau, in some way. My father would have any travelers or guests who came through our lands. He would often interview them, ask them where they came from and where they're going, what news they bring from other realms. And oftentimes he would let me sit in on those meetings. I did not understand back then how lucky I was to be able to hear perspectives of people from many different places. I'm sorry, I am boring you with stories that do not matter.
No,
No.
They matter. They're good.
I was in a position once. Similar but not comparable, I suppose. Always in earshot of people's problems. But was never the one to decide the fate of those. But I saw how those who had to make those decisions thought. I saw how it weighed upon them. And it is not something I envy.
Leadership is a heavy burden.
Aye.
Not all men can carry it.
Well, good thing I'm a hobbit then.
Well, that's just it, right? I mean,
Not that I'm leading anybody, but that I
Well-
can carry strong burdens.
You
Well,
do
I mean-
carry a strong burden, Talos.
Yes. you...
You care about everybody, and that itself is a burden.
Yes.
Indeed.
You know, I think Tosh will step
That
away.
doesn't feel burdensome to me. That just feels like common sense.
Yes, but I think that the ways of the Shire and the ways of the world are so vastly different that you know we've been fortunate to not have to ever have to deal with something like that. I don't know any of our elders, as you would say, would have had to deal with that, but I'm sorry, Toddles. I don't envy how you feel at all, and I think I feel a piece of that, but I don't think I can.
It's like right here. I just feel bad for something I didn't even directly do. Like, I'm not doing anything to him right now, but I still feel terrible. As long as it'll go away.
Yeah. He was a person, is a person. And everyone we meet are people. Each individual's their own lives. And some of them do terrible things. And some of them do great things. But no matter how close you get to them, no matter what they've done, they all live here at some point. So maybe it's just that you're carrying him for a little while until it's time to let him go. Maybe it's that the love and care that you have for everyone, it doesn't have nowhere to go anymore. So you have to carry it yourself for a bit. But only as long as you want to.
Well, it's a good thing I'm a hobbit then.
Well, of course. It's always a good thing to be a hobbit. No offense, Anduin and Ryu.
None taken.
Good, because I really didn't mean that. Just
Sorry.
no, you take that back. You don't say that.
Always
I take
good
it
to be a
back.
hobbit, huh? What if you need to read something on the top shelf?
Well, that's
Now listen
why I
here.
have you.
Wait, no. Okay,
Then much better to be me.
that's
You see,
here.
hobbits are more stackable, though, you know.
That's true.
That's true. You okay?
We
How
have,
shelf is too
Is
tall.
anyone hungry?
we have to go return your library book, do we not?
Yeah. Yes,
Yeah.
we do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and food and books. That. Oh.
The
We
library
should
first,
find Amelia
please.
Kern.
Hmm.
We need to tell Amelia
Yeah,
that we found her friend Frida and got her out alive.
Yeah. Library
And-
first, though. Please.
Yes.
All right.
Amelia is on the way. She's in the north area section where we are. Library is
This is
south by boat, no?
yeah, this is true. We should talk to Amelia first so we do not have to go all the way there and all the way back.
Fine, all right.
So, begin to head to Amelia Kern's house. The large house, rumored to have magic surrounding it, keeping away unwanted guests. But you've been there before. You head to the outside. You can see the courtyard just outside the mansion there. And you can see the familiar structure, unburned, minimal damage, like most of Tharbad, staring before you.
Okay. So for our travel this way, did the majority of the people that was with us, did they disperse? I guess with the exception of potentially Frida.
I'm sorry, say that again?
So the people that were with us when we came into the city, did they
Great
disperse?
question. Your cart was
Yeah.
taken in. There were no questions about the other cart. So you didn't see it. I mean, you got sent to the Red Palace. I think you can make an assumption that they were kind of handled by the guards after you. You didn't ask about them. You didn't talk about them. So who knows?
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Well,
I think we kind of assumed that, you know, the farmers and the refugees, they're people with mouths. They can explain their situation
talk to
too.
themselves.
I would assume.
Not like
there
Tharbad's
is an
going to want to
inn.
turn down food anyway.
Right. It's
Who
probably a
turned
safe
down
assumption
food?
they went to the inn, yes?
Could be.
At least for now.
so I think my biggest concern is, and maybe Frida would have said something before we got here, because she's looking for her children, right? Which we sent ahead with these scouts. I'm wondering if she just would have traveled on to Amelia's, or if we are seeing her outside after we get out of the Red Palace.
Right. Also, we have been on the road with these people on our way here for like a week now, so whatever plan they had for after we get here, I'm sure we've heard it.
Yeah, I mean, Frida would have talked about going directly to Bree for sure, because that's
Okay.
where you said that the Rangers were taking her children. So that's
Okay.
she has no interest in going to Tharbad.
Wait,
So I imagine,
Did?
yeah, the Rangers would have taken the kids to Bree. That's I believe that's where you suggested they go.
Gotcha. I'll be honest, I don't remember.
Yeah,
a
I
while
couldn't
ago now.
remember either.
Yeah, it's been a little bit. I don't remember.
Yeah, the argument being that Tharbad didn't seem like a very good place to send these kids, and especially if there was going to be some kind of revolution or something happening.
But
Yeah.
Frida still came with us to Tharbad.
No,
She
Frida.
should not have.
Yeah, Frida would have split off and gone to Bree.
Okay, so she wasn't even
Gotcha.
here. Okay. Then I think that if we had gone ahead and made our way over to Amelia's, if we're all in agreement on that, I think standing there, I'm just gonna say, okay, who knocks?
I just walk up and pound on the door and
Oh, it's magic.
very casually, like I don't care about any supposed enchantments, and just thump on the door like it's a normal door.
If your beard falls off, it's on you.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, that's a terrible thing to say.
Opening the door, you see the familiar face of Amelia's attendant. The older appearance, looking at the lot of you.
We're
I
back.
see you've returned. I
That we
imagine
have.
you wish to speak with Lady Kern.
If you please.
Mhm.
If you'll give me just a moment. Excuse me.
And closes the door. And there's like, a good minute or so that you have to wait here outside, just staring at the closed door. But eventually, the door opens back up.
Please come inside.
And
go.
Amelia's attendant ushers you in.
Thank you. And then walking in behind him. I look at Tottles and then I like point to her neck for the little the brooch, or the little thing that we'd given to her. I'm just like,
What?
I'm just saying we're gonna have to give that back.
What? Why?
Cause she lent it to us. She's very specifically said where you can. I'm lending this to you. That was the word she.
Well, but it was the only thing that held off, and we gotta figure out how to help Piper.
No,
We might need it still, is what I'm saying.
I'm just saying for honesty. Maybe we'll.
I'll
talk
ask
about-
her. I'll ask her.
Yeah. Okay.
And maybe she knows something about what happened. That's really why I want to go to the library. I don't have an overdue book. I just want to ask about if they know anything about what happened to Piper. See if we can get help.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Lady Kern is waiting for you here in the study. Lady
I
Kern.
remember.
Ah. Good to see you again. What news do you have for me?
Yeah, you might want to sit down for that.
Very well. Please.
She motions towards some chairs for you all.
Go over to one of them. There.
Don't mind
Jump
if I do.
into it.
Loremaster, sorry to interrupt.
Yes.
Have all of the dreams had a similar timeline? And have we moved out of the timeline of when everything goes barrels up?
Barrels up.
I would like you to make it.
Hobbit term. That's a Hobbit term. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a reference to the
When
first
a
Hobbit movie,
skips
you know.
over the cup and goes straight for the barrel, it's barrels up.
That's
It's
right.
going to be a bad time.
I would
We
like
don't
you to
want it to
make
be
a roll
barrels
for
down.
me.
Sure.
I would like you to make a lore roll, I think, and you have a bonus die for me.
Oh. Fate success.
That's a Gandalf room. Okay. Not exactly.
Okay.
The last vision or dream that you had was the most vivid and you remember it the best.
Right.
But they all varied a little bit. So it's tough to get an exact sort of timing. I think give or take an hour or two, maybe. It's tough, right? Because when you have a dream or if
Yeah,
this is
that's
some
right.
kind of vision, pinning down time always seems a little hard, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Thank
you
you very much.
suspect within an hour or two.
Okay. Great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh? And why is that?
Ernst Southbourne is dead.
And Frida?
Frida and her children survived. We were able to get there in time. Ernst died defending them. They have gone to Bree for safety.
Oh.
I would have brought them here to you, but, well, it is a long story.
But if you could maybe do a shorter version so we could get to the questions about, Piper and get to the library.
I thank you
Well,
for bringing this information to me.
Our condolences.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Toddles, you have a trinket.
Yes, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Take my head out of my ass. I was thinking about something else entirely. I'm so sorry.
No, that's
You see, something terrible happened to our friend Piper here. I don't suppose you know anything about the undead or nothing, or curses and the like. Because this came in handy, by the way.
I'm sorry? What?
I'm looking at her and trying to determine if she can even really talk about anything
No.
else right now.
Nope.
She's a strong woman, you know. She's presented that, but I'm wondering in this moment if she's able to talk.
Do you know what I'm thinking in this moment? Perhaps she's too out of it to know that I needed to take my head out of my ass. So maybe she just skipped through that part.
Oh, what did you say?
Now probably isn't the best time. I was just asking if you knew anything about curses or the undead, but we can come back another time. This was very helpful, by the way. Thank you.
You are welcome. What do you mean? Curses or the undead?
I look over to Anduin and then Piper, and I'm like, I'm not really sure if that's.
Our place to see.
Yeah,
Oh,
sorry.
This would
Even
Well,
I just shrug at that.
you see, I seem to have gotten myself in the way of having acquired a curse. It was, accidentally accepted. I don't regret it because it was helping our friend here, Anduin. Yeah, I'm cursed now, which is an interesting thing. By a skeletal.
You strike
entity.
me as rather perceptive, Miss Kern. What color were Miss Piper's eyes last you saw her?
Oh yeah, they changed also.
Yeah, but and tell her about the visions you were having and about the attack impending on
Yeah.
the city.
Well, it seems that the visions. Either I'm still in the dreams right now, which is
You aren't.
honestly,
I
I'm going
pinch
to
her.
be 50-50 on that. Ow, yeah, but everything hurt then too.
Oh, it did.
But
Did I do that before?
no, but got hit by boulders and such things. But anyway, I had many visions of Tharbad being taken by many different things. The most recent one was a full army of orcs flying under the flag of Angmar. But I don't think it was real.
Guys, you're late.
How did this happen to you? You say that
Well,
you
you
are
see-
cursed?
Yes, so what happened was, Anduin, can I tell her?
Perhaps I should.
Okay.
Respectfully, the story goes back probably since before you were born.
She's 33, so yeah.
It's that old?
I would say it's about 800 years old.
That's right, sorry, I was just joking. Terrible time for a joke.
No, you're good.
One of my ancestors did something despicable many, many generations ago. And in retaliation, the brother of a man he murdered struck him with a curse that till the end of his days, he and all of his descendants we would all inherit his cowardice and treachery. That in moments of great peril, we would flee rather than rise to the occasion. Now, whether that curse actually had any power, who can say? Some of us thought they were just angry words with no real meaning. And others took it very seriously and thought there is actually a supernatural power that affects us.
If I may interrupt, what
Yes.
does that have to do with our young friend here?
We are almost there. Whether the curse actually held any power or not, one thing is true. For many years, my ancestors... Well, the curse came true many times. My lineage is not distinguished. The men in my family have alternately been thieves, failures, cowards, and liars. And oftentimes they would blame it on their bloodline and upon this supposed curse. I chose to try and live my life in such a way that I could prove there is no curse, would not let it affect me. Piper took it upon herself to try and free me from this generation's long curse.
To be fair, all of us did, so I just want to make that clear that we all kind of gathered together
How?
to kind of, do this together.
Well, she just started saying, like, why uncurse you and we're family and all sorts of
That's
stuff.
it. We're talking about, being family and, your curse is our curse. Well, I think that's what she said, specifically. Something along the lines,
Yeah.
that, like, we'll
Well, I
share
just
it.
said that I hereby name you uncursed.
Yeah.
And then Anyway, and then the strangest thing happened. I didn't know that it was an actual curse. I thought it was just kind of like a bad story with some, but then I saw this figure hanging over him, and then I spoke to it, and it said some stuff about, who do you think you are? And I said, I'm his family now, which in retrospect, not the right thing to say, but you know what? I stand by it for the meaning, because the meaning is true. So you know what? I stand by that decision. And then it said, so be it, or something like that. And then I conked out.
And
Came
nothing
to
else happened.
different eyes.
Well,
What do you mean?
That's all that happened.
No, she was a little on edge after that. As the evening wound down, we were at the homestead, the farm there, and we had a lot of people with us, and we all decided to stay in the barn. I believe the Master Dwarf here had found some odd symbols about the farm. It's very eerie, the place itself. And when we'd visited originally, there'd been an obvious fight. There's some bodies littered about. When we came back after a completely different journey, don't need to go into it, they were gone. Place had the same sort of feeling. There was definitely still some marks of what had happened, but it just felt off. But being a long day, we decided to stay in the barn together. As the night came on, some noises came about. I know the Rioth there and Tottles were keeping an eye out. They saw something, and
he kept saying, "This isn't possible. This can't be happening. This can't be happening," as if he knew what it was.
Yeah.
And what did he say it was, Anduin?
Yeah.
Like some sort of person or
the
undead queen or something.
Yeah, there was a man named Timber. That's a story.
He
We were
mentioned
surrounded-
something of the Eater of Ghosts. if
Yes,
I
That's it,
recall
yeah.
correctly.
Yes.
He kept saying, this is beyond her power.
Yes.
She could
Right.
not do this.
Yeah.
We were surrounded by what seemed to be the
The Walking
What-
Dead.
they were dead, but they were on their feet.
Yeah, and but more like shuffling, like
Yeah.
sideways and like.
Yeah, there was still the level of
Oh, that's
bloating
really good, that
and,
one.
and
Thank you.
that was good.
So
And
good
now-
with impressions.
Now I begin to wonder if the curse upon my family and generations, maybe it wasn't a real thing, maybe it was just a folklore, but maybe it's real now. because of whatever it is we encountered there, those dark totems, there's some sort of evil magic. Perhaps they brought into being that which had been dormant.
By me saying
word.
something about it kind of gave it a realness, is what you're saying.
Well, so, and that was the odd thing. Going into the place, they had not, Piper here had not gone through the, taking the curse on thing. That happened while we were in there. And then, when the
so
undead
the bodies
seemed to
had
be...
happened already by that
What's
point.
that?
The body part had happened already. They were already
Yeah. No,
messing.
there was the fight,
Yeah.
there was the bodies, we'd left, we came back, the bodies were gone. When we were in the barn, when we were surrounded by the undead, when the cold of death seemed to flow through that place, her eyes turned white. She looked as pale as, and I'm sorry, a ghost. And she fell. And she screamed and was unresponsive after that. Now, thank you to a Master Dwarf there in the trinket that you gave us.
Yeah,
I don't
saved
know.
our lives.
Yeah, I don't know what power that has, but
Elven make.
Do you think the elves could solve it?
Well, give her a
I doubt
chance.
it.
oh yeah,
Piper.
give her. But
I'm
all
sorry,
that to
Miss
say,
Kern. I didn't mean nothing by it.
no, you're Piper, you're fine. All that's to say is that she reacted to that, and since then, she's been having these moments of just disappearing into herself and the eyes, and we just don't know.
And the dreams. Tell her.
The dreams of destruction, terrible destruction of this place, which it
This
has not
place
come
of
true.
Tharbad.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, this town specifically. That's the gist of it. We don't know, or we don't.
Hey.
No, we don't know.
May I? She motions for your hands, Piper.
Yeah. Of course.
She looks them over. Were you... what you said? Did you feel strange when you said it? Were you doing anything else?
When I tried to uncursify him,
Yes.
I didn't feel strange at first.
Your sword was
Sorry,
out.
Anduin.
No, yeah.
My sword was out. That's right. I had my sword on his shoulders. I was kind
May
of
I see
trying
your
to make it as...
sword?
Yeah. I hand over Apple.
As you hold Apple, feels cold to the touch.
What?
Unsheathe your sword.
Shh.
Please.
I hand it over. I'm holding the hilt and the blade. I hand it.
I will not touch the hilt of this sword. You must do it.
Okay.
As she holds the sheath and you hold the hilt handle, she removes the sheath. And the sword looks different to you. upon the sword, you see ancient writing, as if it has been stained upon the blade. And as the sheath is removed, you start to hear the whispers.
I hear them.
What do you hear?
It's whispering. And crying. Wailing. What is... It sounds like, I can't tell the language. I can't tell what they're saying. They're not speaking.
She quickly sheathes the sword, and she says, "Your sword. You must take it to someone who understands far better than I what has happened here. You must take it to the elves.